Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Assalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Welcome to the Man's World podcast, where we talk about everything related to men's issues, specifically Muslim men's issue living in the West. So we're going to jump right into it. I got a clip to share with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Again, if you have any comments, questions, type them in the chat. Even if you're watching this later, we'll try to get to them and answer them when we do have time. So let's get right into watching these clips, and we're going to give a little reactions and some lessons that we can learn from said clips. Okay. Window. No, share screen. Okay, here we go. Okay. So we have a clip here, and I'll give a little context after we play it. If you guys should know who this is, if you've maybe you don't. He pops up in my feed every now and again. People that are into the red pill should know who this guy is because he's one of the voices in that area.
This man built his whole brand on trash talking women with a past. But guess what? He went home and married one. Yep, the red pill dude who screams that single moms are low value and divorced women are used goods just got exposed for having a wife with 2 ex-husbands and 3 baby daddies. The same category of woman he tells his followers to never touch is literally sleeping in his bed every night. And when the girl he was debating said it out loud, oh, he lost it. I'm talking pacing, yelling, breathing like he just ran uphill in flip-flops. But funny thing is, he never said she was lying. Not once, because she wasn't. He wasn't mad she said.
So that's pretty much it for this guy. What happened? And if you guys know him, he's on this show. I don't even know what the name of it is, but he's Andrew Wilson. But he's also gotten into debating against Islam and talking about Islam. And if you ever seen this guy um, react or how he carries himself, let's wait till we're connected back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Hit the stop sharing button, but I had to leave, leave the podcast button. But anyway, this guy's like a big baby. He typically gets he's got his fame because similar to like the Fresh and Fit podcast where they bring on women who may or may not be that intelligent and it's like low hanging fruit, and then they kind of make them look silly with these stage arguing points and debate topics. And he's known for basically trashing women, talking about women that are promiscuous, that have multiple partners, and all these different things. But on the show, one of the ladies who was a little smarter on the smarter end did her research on him and found out that his current wife was married twice before, and she has 3 baby daddies. But this is the type of person that he would normally say is promiscuous, is a whore, shouldn't be touched, and all this. And it was so funny because I went and watched the clip, and he literally lost it. Like he got up from his chair, he was like screaming. He couldn't like he like raising his voice at the lady, and they even called his wife up to like so she can come on and help debate this woman, right? Let's get the sympathy card and get my wife involved in it. But it's just what I got out of it is again going back to this whole red pill stuff. It's all bull crap. These guys are all full of crap, and you look at every single one of them that was promoting all this red pill stuff. They either like moved away from it, or you see that they actually don't have really any success in their lives whatsoever, besides getting rich off of talking about red pill stuff, right?
Yeah. These people, these red pill guys, number one, a lot of them hate themselves. They're not happy people, and they're not happy with themselves and who the men that they are. They're not really happy with it. So what that leads to, or the second thing, is that they are putting on an act. They're putting on an act for an audience, for customers, for people who they are trying to attract to. If you usually look or listen to them for any point in time, they're going to plug some sort of course or self-help or private group or some way to help you to be like them or to be successful. So for the most part, they're putting on an act. They're fake. They're
Yeah.
doing this for an audience. So the talking points that they say, the positions that they hold, and the accomplishments that they say they are doing, whether it be with women or in business or in life and finances. No, it's an act. And so a lot of their target and their content is basically bashing women
Hmm.
and putting down, single mothers or women with, high body counts. Or not saying that these things are good. I'm just saying this is what they this is their the capital that they use, and
Yeah.
these are the talking points that they use in putting these people down. So they will put down a single mother with the quickness. Any
Hmm.
woman who has multiple children by multiple fathers or whatever, or just women in general, really. Um, and uh, they make that really a sticking point. But I would say this, that the issue with single mothers or even a woman with 1 or 10 or 20 children versus a woman with no children or a woman who's a virgin, it's not a purity issue. It's
Yeah.
not a really a purity issue. And we could get into that, but that's not really the issue. But that's one of the talking points that they try to hang their hat on, to get people, who have very either limited interaction. And that's the thing, their audience, is they have limited interaction or understanding or any experience with women. So they just
Hmm.
say, well, okay, they must be right. So this is what these people, they just hate themselves, and they're putting on this act, and they have their talking points that they use to then drive the emotions of their audience into paying for, subscribing to, and really funding the lifestyle that they actually built off of telling people about a lifestyle that they built.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah, and it's a cherry on top that he's actually an Islamophobe as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
I've seen a little bit of the debate he had with Daniel Hakikachu, and Daniel Hakikachu was making him look silly.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, don't come in this religious realm. Don't just stay over there and talk to young college girls and debate them. Don't
yeah.
come over here and talk about religion.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is a grift. It's a grift where they're doing the red pill. The financial space is a grift, and their religious debate,
Hmm.
or even the social, some of the issues, and whether it be politics, all these things. You have these really grifters that come into the area. But even like with this thing, he's like, with the red pill thing, it's like the audience, the people who actually consume red pill content for guidance. Put it this way, because there's some people,
Yeah,
like, he might like look at it just the entertainment. It's like,
for
these are silly
entertainment.
guys.
Yeah, yeah,
So we may contribute to their views, but it's almost like a car wreck. Like, look, it's not like we're not being guided by these people. We don't have, but
yeah,
the people who do look at them for some sort of, or use them for some sort of guidance, you're going to have people who, like I said, they're going to be even adolescents, people from 11 to, even up to 30. It might be older than that, but these are
yeah,
people, you have people who they have zero, no actual interaction with women, no girlfriend, no wife, no significant other to speak of. Either they're
yeah,
not old enough yet, but they think they know. These are kids, basically. You have the people who are old enough, but they just can't or have not been able to do it. These are the people that consume the content. This is one of the type of people that
yeah,
consume the content. So when you look at that, some of the stuff that they're saying, they don't know. They don't know any better. So they're just like, oh wow. So
yeah,
when I do get a girlfriend, or if I ever get a wife or whatever, this is how this is how I gotta act, this is how I gotta be, or whatever. So this is
yeah,
this is one demographic. These people, they don't have any interaction. You got the second group of people who consume this for guidance. These are the people who have had wives or girlfriends, but they were not successful in either
yeah,
getting the people that they want that they want, or they can't keep the people they want. Right? They
yeah,
get the girl, but they leave them or whatever. And so you have this where the people, it's not that they don't have any action with women. they can't seem to get or keep the interactions with women that they actually like, you know?
Mhm.
So this is
Mhm.
the second, people that actually consume their content for guidance. That third group is the people who have legitimately had relationship, but they've been harmed. Like either
Yes.
they got cheated on, they
I
got
was gonna say
left,
that. Yep.
they had, they've been bogged down with alimony and child support and all these things, and they're angry. They're
Yep.
mad, and it's cathartic for them. They can resonate. It resonates with them for them to bash women and say women are the problem, they're the issue, or whatever. And so they consume this content, and
Mhm.
like, yeah, if this is the reason why
Yep.
this happened, or and some of these men, they legitimately have been done wrong by some women, but these are the
Yep.
people that are going to be consumers of this content for some sort of guidance and actually relying on it, and having some sort of belief in it. So anytime you hear one of these red pill people spewing anything, you have to understand that these are the targets. These are the people that they are trying to attract, trying to sell, and trying to push to, and then trying to monetize that either
Yes.
inexperience, or the lack of success, or the trauma that they went through. And so
Yes.
this is what they're doing.
Exactly. And it almost reminds me, I mean, this ties into the work we do on our other channel with like the cult mindset and
Mhm.
people that it's the same exact thing. You find a weakness and you take a little bit of truth and you use that to pretty much control people or exploit people. And it's the same thing these guys are doing online. And you laid that out perfectly. So just to repeat that for the people, you have look at the people that are providing this. And if you are a person that has no experience, they're taking advantage of that. If you are a person that's not finding success, they're taking advantage of that. Or if you're a person that has some sort of past trauma or history, they're taking advantage of that. And like just to kind of give you a little context, me and Mubarak, you could say that through our own experiences, we've had successes, we've had failures. You could say we've been traumatized or had some kind of trauma. We're like, damn, took an L on that one, right? But the what you should do out of that is not use that to guide all of your decision making. You learn the mistake you made in that one instance and you move forward accordingly, right? So to kind of put it in perspective, what Mubarak's saying is you could have an individual that, for instance, his wife may have cheated on him, right? And they got a divorce. She took half of everything and she took full custody of the kids, right? Stereotypical situation. And from that, he gets into this red pill stuff. And then instead of just listening to the good points about like, okay, don't get legally married, or don't do this or whatever different things that are good advice. It's not necessarily red pill stuff. It's just stuff that you should, be aware of when you're getting into relationships. They actually accept the whole package, right? It's like you need a car to get back and forth to work. And you have these used car salesmen out here that they got you to buy the car, they got you to buy, the seat covers, they got you to buy the gas package. They basically you bought
Mhm.
you bought child seats. You don't have no kids. Like you just bought everything, and that's what these guys are doing. They're just selling you crap and trying to get you to buy everything.
Mhm.
And I wanted to touch a little bit on this because it's when you talk about their audience, it makes sense that they're also going into these other areas of grifting because when you talk about Islamophobes,
Mhm.
right? When you talk about people that are in these certain like political spaces, as far as like far right or whatever, they're also people that, I hate to say it, are usually ignorant or don't know about the thing that they actually hate. So it's pretty easy to get someone who's actually a hard pill right guy or a red pill, devout red pill guy to be like, yeah, I also hate Muslims. I also hate immigrants. And you just talk about all that stuff that's going to get them like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But you're sitting in your basement with no wife, no kids, no life. And,
Mhm.
that's
And
your life.
I mean, these are people that they are susceptible to the grift or the scam. There's a certain type
Mm-hmm.
of people, a certain type of personality, or a certain demographic that's more susceptible to being grifted and scammed. And those are
Yeah.
people who they don't have the experience, right? And what they have an interest in this, but they don't really have the experience, or they've had some sort of past experience that didn't go well, and to duck the accountability or the responsibility, the grift explains it in a simplified, easy way. You know what I mean? What's wrong with the country? The Muslims, the immigrants. It's not the fact that you don't know how to manage your money and you have
Yeah.
poor impulse control, or the fact that you don't exercise properly, so you're out of shape and you're not feeling well, or you consume a bunch of content that's useless for you. So it's not any of those things. It's the immigrants. And if the immigrants weren't here, then so this is the type of thing. It's the same grift. It's the same playbook, right? Why you're not having success in your life? It's the women. If these women, so basically this is the red pill, whether it's the religious grift or whatever, the same type of people who don't have the experience, they don't think deeply enough about a thing, and they want some sort of quick fix. They just want it to be very simple. Okay, what's the problem? Is that the boogeyman you can point to, and then, okay, it's not me. Oh, I'm relieved. It's not me. It's not anything that I've done or I have to improve on. It's them. It's that. It's the Muslims. It's the women. It's whoever else. And that's, the thing is that a lot of these, if we look at the red pill guys, a lot of these red pill guys, the speaker, they are the same people actually that the demographic that they are preaching to.
Good point.
Some of them are the same people. You have some of them. I mean, there are some of them that really they actually don't get women. They don't have experiences with women like that. There's one guy that does this. He's not. I wouldn't put him exactly in red pill, but he does say some of this stuff. But and he talks about women. But Nick Fuentes, right? He's this racist. Never in his life, nada, none, no, never even, sniffed a woman. What can he tell you? What can he tell you about a woman? He can't. But these type of people. So you have a lot of these people that are in the red pill. They get the only difference between their audience and the people they are selling to is they have a couple $1,000s worth of recording audio and visual equipment, and they have a YouTube channel, and they took a course on creating content. That's the only difference. They take a few regurgitated, biased talking points from Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit and Psych Hacks, Orion Taraban, who also is another. He's another one that this man has never. He talks about a lot of different relationships he has, but as I look at him, he's never even been able to, from what we can tell, maintain any long-term relationship. He doesn't have a wife. What can he tell you about getting or keeping or maintaining a long-term relationship with a woman? He can't. He can give you some ideas about their tendencies. He can give you some statistics. He can give you some psychological analysis about men and women. And so you can benefit somewhat. But to take advice from him, full stop, it's like, bro, you've been trying to do the same thing that I'm trying to do, but you ain't been, you haven't been able to do it. So why, and so that's why I say a lot of these people that have these microphones, they have the nice setup and the backdrop and everything that you would like, and the production is great. But they're not even. I mean, there's more success, and not to pump to our own horn, but there's more success in these areas and qualifications and real experiences and real wisdom in these areas that they're talking about. We have in probably, our pinky nail than any of these people, So like I said, that's why we got to do it. But you have to realize, for any of the people who actually take any of these people's advice, full stop, like, oh yeah, they must be. Listen, they are the same as a lot of their audience. They just have a little bit of a budget behind them, and they got some experience in producing content. They regurgitate it, package it, sell it to you, and then off you go. But you have to realize these are the same people. There's no difference.
Yep. And I was just thinking about like the profile of the number one fan of this type of content. So you have Johnny, who's Caucasian, middle age, lost his job to, a Mexican immigrant, right? And after he lost his job, the black Muslim man, his wife left him for the black Muslim man. took his kids, and then that's their target audience.
Yeah. I mean, some of these guys, you know, and the thing is, when I say that these guys hate themselves, is because they themselves have these issues with like blaming, and we're by no means, we don't say that women are perfect and they're innocent of everything and it's all the man's fault. You know, we could be the light-skinned dudes who just who do that and make a little more, we probably would be rich by now, but we
Right.
the women have their issues, and they're 50% of the blame, at least for some of the issues that arise. But um these dudes, we say these guys, they hate themselves because they have not been able to have the successes, but they do either at one point in time. All of these, if you look back, they were consumers of the red pill content that they came up. They came up, either they were watching Patrice O'Neal back in the day, and then Kevin Samuels and all these people or whatever. So,
Yeah.
and there's, you know, you get the white guys or whatever. Point is that they realize that the grift that they're sold, just do this, just do that, and you'll get, you know, the type of women that you want, and you're going to be the man, and you're just going to say jump, and they're going to do everything that you say. And you know, when in reality it's there's a lot more to it. But so they realize, they get to a certain point where they realize, actually, the only women that I can get is the ones that the red pill space says don't go anywhere near.
Yeah.
So the thing is, this is why this guy, he winds up marrying a triple divorcee, which we're not even saying that inherently that's a problem. If she's been divorced 3 times, we don't know what the issue is. She could be the cause. She could not be the cause. She could be making bad decisions, or maybe she's grown and matured. We don't know. But the thing is, he married a triple divorcee with 3 different baby fathers. That in the red pill space is an absolute no. In the red pill space, that's haram. That is not permissible, right? That is like the holy grail of, you absolutely completely effed up, right? And so the reason his reaction is the fact that he has done the best that he probably could do, according to him, even though it's not like this is settling. They might be a perfect match for each other, but according to his belief system that he's espousing, no, that's terrible.
Exactly.
So he really, if he believes it, you know, then he has to hate himself inside, because, man, I went against my religion. I mean, this is you know, think about it. If a person was doing something that was against their beliefs and living that lifestyle, then they have to have some animosity or some hatred in their heart for what they're doing, or for the person that they're with, right? Imagine you know that something that you're doing is wrong and you hate it. This person always brings it, and then you almost like you have a resentment for that person, even though you know they're doing it with you. Like, man, this guy, man, or this girl, she's really causing me to go against my beliefs. He's living that life every day. That's why I say he hates himself.
Yeah, and he really blew up, and you see it, like what you're saying about him hating himself, how he reacted when he got called out on it. Because we give advice, right? We give general advice that's helpful, and then but someone be well, like for instance, we'll say you know, if you're gonna think about marrying someone who's been married and has kids, you know, that's not the ideal situation. But well, both of y'all did it. Well, we also add context to all this general advice, and then, you know, different things. And if someone got on this show and like challenge us on it, you wouldn't see us like get up, throw our mics down, start pacing around, call our wives up. No, come help explain it. We're just gonna be like, we'll give the explanation of why we did it, and why, if you're in that situation, you maybe or maybe not should do the same thing. Simple as that. Like, you can see, like, you know, you have that saying, like, a hit dog hollers, right? You see how a person, like, how they actually feel about something, how they react. And the way he reacted shows, like, oh yeah, you recognize you're full of crap. You know.
And that's the thing about it. Part of that whole red pill, you know, space is you have to have a certain amount of arrogance, and you have to have a certain amount of, I'm definitely right, I can't be wrong, this is hard and fast, these are set rules. You cannot deviate from what we say. This type of woman is bad, don't deal with them, don't go near them. you get this type of thing. Everything is laid out. There's no flexibility and there's no nuance to it
Yeah.
really. What you will find is a lot of these people, it's like left and right. Then you can find out either they have a single mother, or they married someone who with kids and all these things. All of them wind up in that area, and this is the type of person that winds up, um, in that demographic. But they will, like for instance, they'll say one of their sticking points is do not marry a single mother. They say they're
Hmm.
just for fun, but don't marry him. Do
Yeah.
not. That's like one of the hard and fast rules. Like, uh, you know, in Islam, we have certain rules where you can or can't not marry people, and I equate it to their religion. They listen. This is they. I look at
Yeah.
it like that. They believe
Yeah.
this, and this is what they go by. But they say, listen, don't marry a single mother, and a triple divorcee, and with multiple uh fathers for her, or for her three children, is definitely off the books. So when they say that, and he did it, he crashed out about it, but they have this point where there's no way anyone can deviate from it, regardless if a person meets a woman who matches and is perfect for them and their situation or whatever, because she fits that certain demographic. They feel like they have to throw it out. And I'll just say
Yep.
this: the issue with single mothers is not a purity thing. And this is one of the things that they run off of. They say, well, they got a high body count or this and another, you'll never be able to have control over, or whatever. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You can marry a virgin, you can marry a person with no children, and you still have the same problems. It really has
Yep.
to do with you and the type of person you select for personality. But the issue is not a purity thing. You're not going to say, okay, because this woman has three children, now she's impure. No, newsflash for those people that don't know, it's all the same. For the most part, it is all the same. There's
Yep.
not much difference. I'm just letting you know. Let these people run their mouths about, you need it. For the most part, as far as the physical person, the body of the woman, there's not a whole lot of difference. Now, I'm sure some
Yep.
people are gonna be like, well, I get that, but for the most part, it's not a purity issue. What the issue is that you have with a single mother, and the more children she has, the more of this you have, is that you have baggage, you have unknown variables, and then you have sunken costs. Like, the
Yeah.
baggage is going to be those children. If she's a good mother, if it's just a regular mother, a decent mother, but if she's a good mother, she is going to have a lot of her life is going to be dictated around those children. She's going to love
Hmm.
her children, and her decisions, whether she moves or not, takes a job or not, works or not, you know, goes on vacation here or there or not, it's all going to have be majorly affected by her children. So when you look at that, there's baggage involved, right?
Yep.
So you're not going to be able to just say, I'm going to marry this woman because I like her. You're actually
Oh.
marrying that woman and her situation, which is those children, depending on the
Yep.
ages and all that. And we've had shows about that. So this is the issue. It's not a purity issue. It's an issue of baggage. And for the single women, they have to, with children, you have to realize you got baggage, and some of them are very upfront. You got to be take care of me and my child or whatever. And some people
Yep.
clown them for that, but I would say if that's the way they feel, you should put that out front. And I would
Mm.
say for the men, you should be like, no thanks, you
Yeah.
know. But
Exactly.
so that's it, and I'm not sure. I don't want to go on too long, but the point is that it's the baggage, and then you have the unknown variable, and that is that the other dude or dudes that have those children with that woman. Imagine if she
Hmm.
has three children's fathers, okay, of her three different children. That's three men whose influence is going to be affecting your household, because we would assume that they would spend time with their fathers. If everything is normal, their father's going to be telling them, hey, you might be a person that says, tell your sons, listen, if someone hits you, you hit him back. They might be a son that says, turn the other cheek or something like that. So you you
Yeah.
you have all types of influences that are creating a variable within your environment that you don't have control of. You know what I mean? You could say, hey, listen, we don't wear, skinny jeans in my house or whatever. And I think they're kind of wimpy. We don't do that. Meanwhile, he buys his son skinny jeans. So your son and his son are like, hey, what's the problem? Why can't I wear this pink, leotard? You might so you have unknown variables that are introduced when you have the single mother. And then the sunken cost, and I'll just say this might hurt some people's feelings, but the sunken cost is the fact that all the time and energy, you reading Timmy a bedtime story, your stepson or stepdaughter bedtime story, or you taught him how to swing a bat, you taught him how to catch a ball, all those things. At the end of the day, it might just be for, as they say, love of the game, because it might not be reciprocated. Now, if you just love to take care of children and go to little kids, soccer games and sit through them, some of those excruciating, little sports things, like we do that for our kids, right? It's like, man, if this wasn't my kid, I would not be here. But you do that for your kids.
This.
Yeah. So imagine you're doing all that for a stepchild. You do that, and whether people like to look at it or not, it's an investment. You're investing that time and energy and raising up a child so that eventually, in the event that you need some reciprocation as you get older, or they're going to be a help or an assistance for you in various ways as they grow older, you got to realize that might not be there. That might go directly to the biological father or mother, that they get that. And so,
oh, you froze on me, Mubarak.
It's married. Whatever, and then who walks her down the aisle? The daddy who wasn't there. You know what I mean? So I mean, this is the thing. It could be a sunken cost.
Yep. So our next clip, and this one will kind of hit my heart a little bit, and I hope they're, because people now make things just to get views. Sometimes it's not really representing reality, but we're gonna act like this is representing reality and comment on it based on that.
Tell me why I have a beautiful house, warm, cozy, and yet this is where my husband is. I'm sorry, what? Somebody tell me.
So if you see there, and we'll just to give you a little idea of what just happened there, is this lady who has a nice house, has a husband, and you can see from the background pics, it looks like a very nice house. And and she's wondering why her husband is instead spending his time in the cold garage by himself, right? And well, the men who's married, excuse me, could probably answer that question very easily, right? So I'll first touch the best case scenario, and then I'll let Mubarak come in on some other scenarios. The best case scenario is that, everybody, whether it's, doesn't matter how good your marriage is, men and women, you need your own space. You need your own me time. And how you find that me time or private space to just be in your own zone, everybody's different. Some people might, that's their time is to go to the gym, or their time is to play video games, or their time is to watch a fight, basketball game, football game, whatever, right? And that's their time to reset, whatever, because I would say it's not normal for, no matter how good your marriage is, that you're just in each other's faces 24/7, right? I don't know if they have kids or not. If there's kids, that even adds to the mixture of like, I just need a time to reset. Sometimes you'll see, I know guys, and I've done it before too, where, you drive home from work and sometimes you just sit in your car for 5-10 minutes to like reset, transition from work to, okay, now I'm in the house. So best case scenario, he just needs a little bit of me time, right? Just like women need it sometimes, men need it as well. And that's his way of getting me time. So what other scenarios can you think of that why this guy is in the cold garage instead of his warm, cozy house?
Yeah. Can you hear me all right? I think
you're good.
My internet is lagging a little bit.
Yep.
So me, I looked at it and I'm like, okay, old boy is in the garage. Okay. He's not like in his room or just in some part of the house. He's in the garage. So to me, it's more than just the normal, kind of have your own space type of thing. To me, that's what I saw. And
Yeah.
a lot of times you have different types of people. You have people that are like energizers, right? People who, whether you're talking to them or you're around them or whatever, you receive some benefit, like whether it's energy or you learn something, or you have like there's a gain there, right? And
Mhm.
sometimes just sitting and chilling and hanging out with a person, not even necessarily always um interacting, you get some sort of benefit. So you have these people that are energizers, and you have some people that they don't produce any energy, they actually consume it.
Mhm.
Right? So you have consumers, and they might not, they just don't produce as much as they consume. So you have you'll have them where being around them, you need a break because you're not really getting as much as you kind of would need to sustain yourself. So you got to like get away from them and kind of recharge or whatever, but you can be around them. And then you have the people who are just like vampires. They don't produce energy themselves, and they drain other people very, very quickly. And so therefore you might wind up in a situation where you're constantly trying to get away from them. And some people are married to people like this. So they wind up married, and you might be intimate and you might do things that married people do or whatever. But for the most part, there's people that are married that have completely separate lives. Like everything that one likes to do, they really don't do these things together. And some of these vampire people, they will, because they have to get your energy, they can't produce anything themselves. They'll do things like this. They will unilaterally buy matching his and hers, we love anime shirts or whatever, something like that, right?
Uh-huh.
But you don't really wear stuff like that, and you didn't ask for it, but they like it. And they not only, so if you don't wear it, or he's like, I don't really want that, you know what I mean, I don't like the color, I don't really rock like that, then they will like accuse you, oh, you're not being grateful, you can't even say thanks for what I did this for you. No, you did this for yourself. You wanted to force some sort of reciprocation. And now some people might say, oh, what's wrong with just accepting the fact that it's done for you? And that can be a longer discussion, but the point is they do things like that where they need a constant
Mhm.
direction of your energy and time, resources, whatever, directed at them. But that doesn't necessarily reciprocate for the person that they want it from. So you wind
Yes.
up just drained. So what do people like this do? They just go somewhere else, even if it's out in the cold, even if it's in the garage by itself. He's got a wonderful house. He's probably got an even bigger and nicer TV and sound system and setup, inside. But he would rather go out there because she won't follow him out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like just thinking of the scenario that would happen, um that led up to this. And I just started thinking of various things. So you look at him, he's in the cold garage with, they say man's best friend or whatever. He has both his dogs in there, chilling, relaxing, watching sports, right? So he's comfortable in there.
Mhm.
But the main thing that you have to understand from this clip, that what happened and what this is showing you, is that he doesn't feel, like she says, he has this whole warm, comfy house. Guess what? He does not feel that house is his. He does not feel attached to it. He does not feel comfortable there. And now Mubarak touched in on a big reason why he doesn't feel comfortable there. But let me just give you a few scenarios, hypothetical, imaginary scenarios that led up to Johnny, going to the garage. First, he sat in the living room and he wanted to watch the game in the living room. But in order to get to watch the game in the living room, he had to throw 20 pillows off the couch on the floor because there's no place to actually sit on the couch, right? And then his wife came in and did that. She gave him a little grief. Why you put my pillows on the floor? And he's like, well, had a little mini argument about like, well, how am I supposed to sit on the couch if all these pillows are here? And whatever. That was the first thing. Then he's watching the game and she comes in. She wants to hang out with him, just like Mubarak said. And she just grabs the remote and changes it to, Netflix to watch the true crime series about the latest person that just got killed by some random serial killer. right? He doesn't watch those. He wants to watch the game. That's the first thing. But, he's like, whatever, I'll watch the true crime show. And then while he's watching the true crime show, she starts some random conversation about like why he was late from work. But we can, you see where I'm going with this is that pretty much no matter where he goes, no matter what he does, it's somehow some kind of issue with either her or other people in the house where he doesn't feel like, oh, this is mine. Right. And this actually plays back to another clip that we watched where, and we had a whole conversation about men usually live their lives to please the other people in their lives. So he's actually he didn't look like he was having an issue or like he's just, I'm going to be comfortable here. I'm going to find my space in the garage. You know what? The house is yours. If you're happy, I'm happy. Kids are happy, I'm happy. Just give me my little space in here. So as women, when you're seeing this, and again, she might just be posting this for views and he's cool with it or whatever, right? But to talk about that whole vampire thing and all that, for her to even post this online, right? Because look, he had, remember my hypothetical, my made up scenario. She had a problem with him moving the cushions. She had a problem with like, oh, we don't lay down on this couch. She had a problem with like, oh, he wanted to eat some snack. Oh, we don't eat in the living room. He had a problem that like whatever, like all these problems that he had. So he's like, I'm going to go to a place where you actually aren't going to have a problem with anything I do. And she still found a way to have a problem with what he's doing and then broadcast it to the world as if something's wrong with him for her own needs, because she wanted validation or recognition of like, look what I do. I keep this house clean for him and he's in the garage. So it's actually a lot of deep rooted issues in this. And for men, men and women, if you're in a marriage, it's very important that you respect each other's space. If we go back to a clip that we watched before, I bet she would answer very similar to that one Indian lady when the guy asked, is your husband happy? And I bet she would be stuck and not have an answer.
She starts crying. Yeah. And it's, if you listen to the clip, she said, I have a beautiful house. Like she said, I.
There you go.
And so that's the thing, man. It's like, and I'm telling you, there are some people you can hang out with and like you leave with your battery is higher than when you started, and other people like you're just completely drained. And I can see this being the type of person that she is, and so a lot of times it has to do with personalities. That's why the old thing when they say, oh, hey, when people say, hey, I got a girl for you, man, somebody you probably would like, like, hey, what she look like? Well, she's got a great personality. That usually means she's ugly. But the thing is, I would say the number one factor for whether you will have a successful relationship and whether you will, and the longevity is personality, the personality match more than the attractiveness. You will see, plenty of women that are absolutely gorgeous. And as you can see, that was a pretty lady. Her husband did not want to be around her.
Well, I want to read a couple of these comments because like he had it read out of my head. So other people are noticing it too. So if you see this one, the first one is another lady, not to pick on, blonde haired, blue eyed woman, whatever, but it's obviously another blonde. It looks like her sister. Right? Says, sitting in a freezing garage? Like, what? Why does your husband do this? We have other rooms with TVs, but he prefers to sit out there in the cold. Wow. Like that's her response. But then someone, I don't know if it's a man or woman, but says, I have a beautiful house, not we. That's why. Like just point out what you just mentioned, like very clearly. Like, because you very clearly. And the next one says, go in the garage, and I bet he goes in the house. Oh man, even the dog likes it in there. Oh man, goodness gracious. That's just great.
Like, there was one comment that was like, he said, I can, that's what I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Basically, she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. And a lot of those people like that, they don't get it. Like you get some.
Oh shoot, look at this one. Hiding from the mistake that keeps opening the door. Oh man. The internet does not disappoint.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this. When I you know, when we look at, when I say personalities, right? And like, for instance, let me ask you a question. Do you know
Yep.
what a pick me is? What they say? They
Yeah,
say
like
pick me.
someone who just does everything for the men
Yeah.
to like her, pretty much.
Pick me. Basically, they say, if you pick me, I will dedicate my life to making sure that you're happy and content and successful. That's what you get if you pick me. That's why a lot of women say, "Oh, she's just a pick me. She's willing to do anything
Right.
to make him happy, so that she can be his girl. That's so that
Right.
he will claim her." But what I say is, what's the difference between a pick me and a gold digger? Like what's a gold digger, right?
So a gold digger is just pretty much you're marrying somebody, a lady that's marrying somebody just to get money off of the man, right?
Okay, but what is she? But she is. So let me just.
I'll do anything
She'll
to
do anything,
get the
right?
money from you,
She'll
right?
do anything. Basically, she'll says, "I will give you access to me, and I will, presumably, what she wouldn't even necessarily want to do. She wouldn't pick the 90-year-old oil tycoon.
Right, right,
She's 22 years old. She's not doing that because of anything other than she's willing to do pretty much whatever he wants her to do. She will represent a status symbol of the trophy wife or success, because she will be just an object of a status. Wow, he's rich, and look at what he has in his possession. This nice, young, fit, in shape woman that he gets to spend time with or whatever.
yes,
So she's actually a pick me too. It's very similar. They both, and I would say, I don't see there's anything wrong with either. They both are saying, "Hey, listen, this is what I will do for you. I will do whatever it takes to make your life successful and happy. I'll cook for you, all clean, and all these things or whatever." That's just a normal woman, but they call them a pick me. But the
right,
gold digger is basically saying, "Listen, I don't do a lot of this homemaking stuff, but what I will do is I'll spend the time with you when necessary or whatever, and you can claim me, and I'll claim you as your person." So the thing is, when I say with personalities or whatever, is that you have to realize what type of person that you're getting involved. A lot of people, they don't do that, and then they wind up in a situation where they're married but they're trying to get away. Like,
right.
the person who chooses a gold digger, they might not necessarily have those issues, I don't think, because they're like, "Well, I know exactly what this is. I know exactly what this is."
Well, it's funny you mention that because I watched a clip from our girl Candace Owens, and she was talking about like the billionaires or whatever, and she was like, Jeff Bezos. She's like, he's the only one that she doesn't really have a problem with because he got rich and was ever, "I'm rich, I'm gonna do what rich people do," and he got himself just a bimbo gold digger, right?
Mhm.
And that's exactly what she is, like. And he obviously recognizes like that's what you are, and that's our relationship, and there's no risk of me ever running out of money, so there's no risk to our relationship, right? So you get what you want. And if you recognize that, as you said, Mubarak said about the personality, if you recognize what a person's personality is, what they're in a relationship for, and what you need out of the relationship, it could be successful. If the person is a gold digger, you're like, "Okay, this person's a gold digger. Well, I have the gold, and I'm pretty secure to be able to provide the gold, and she gives me what I want. Okay, have a happy marriage."
Yeah.
All right, so this is a good one. Comes from touches on our Islamic roots. For those of you who aren't Muslim that are watching, so let me share this one. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't leave. They should move those buttons. Okay. All right, here we go.
Value of your husband, if the quality of your husband is based on the dunya that he gave you, then your beloved Prophet was the worst of husbands to his wives. Am I even allowed to say that? Is that even allowed to say? A'udhu billah, was the Prophet of Allah the worst to his women? He says, the best of you are those that are best to the women, and I'm the best to my women. What dunya did he give her, my sister? What dunya? Aisha says in the authentic narration when she was speaking to her nephew Urwa, she says, "Wallahi, a full moon, we would see the full moon, then the full moon, then the full moon. 2 complete months used to pass us by. 2 complete months used to pass us by. And she said she said not a single flame was lit. Yani no cooking and no boiling in any of the 9 houses of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
So that's the general point there, and just to kind of go over what he's just saying, transitioning from our gold digger conversation, and this is not. I mean, this was enlightening even for me, a very good reminder, because we have the concept of, you hear the hadith all the time. I even use it. The best of men are the ones that are best to their women or best to their wives, and we say that, and automatically, even in my mind, when I say it, you start thinking about material things that you're providing your wife. And this brother brings up very, very good point, is that if that was the true meaning of the best of men are the ones that are best to their wives, then that wouldn't even apply to Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because as he mentioned, his wives didn't have all the material possessions that that they could have had during that time, right? They weren't rich. They weren't even eating hot meals for months at a time, for days at a time. And they lived in very small homes. Like, he didn't provide a material wealth to his wives. So us listening to this advice of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was the best of husbands to his wives. So we have to rewire our thinking a little bit. And that's what it did for me, because automatically you think about being good to your wives. You think about making them happy. And what's the best thing that makes your wife happy? Well, something material, right? So it's a nice way, it's a nice reminder that we need to rewire how we think, and the true meanings of when we use these hadith and we use these situations of what it actually means to be the best to our wives. And obviously, it's not the one that provides all the material wealth to their wives.
Let me ask you a question, Dr. Griffin, not to go off the reservation here, but just humor me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here goes the question. You can only pick one or the other.
Oh, okay.
Would you prefer to have a deep love and appreciation for someone else? Okay. Or would you prefer to have someone else have a deep love and appreciation for you? You can't have both. Just one or the other.
Jeez, that's a tough one. Man, I would say, based off of my personality, I would choose to have a love or a deep love and appreciation for somebody else. Mm-hmm. That's what I would choose.
Yeah. And I think this is really for most people like this, but a lot of men are like this. And I think that is in listening to this clip, this came in my mind. And that's the thing. Even the material things or whatever it might be, that's what everybody really is trying to get. One or the two. Usually the best people to be related to, in a relationship with, or to be around, are those people who they prefer to be around people that they have a deep love and appreciation for. You'll see some people that are married, you see, unfortunately for women, a lot of women, but they hate their husband. They're married to their husband and they just complain about him. They think he's dumb, he's this and another, whatever. He's even I saw a clip the other day where a guy he deleted his wife because she made fun of his his anatomy, and like in front of other people. And it's like, why would a wife do things like that? She doesn't love or appreciate or respect or whatever him. She doesn't have that for him. Mm-hmm. And I would say that I think this is what motivates people. So even with this clip, like, if you put it in the context of what people value most, is that love and appreciation. Either they want it and they want to give it. The best thing is when you have it both ways. You have someone who you have a deep love and appreciation for in your life, and that's reciprocated. That's perfect. But you'll settle for you actually having a deep love and appreciation for that person, because you get some satisfaction out of that, even if it's not reciprocated. I know men are like that, but
right.
Sometimes people get that, they, like, as you said, women they translate that into how much things are you buying me, or what's my lifestyle, how much of what you have you are diverting it to my benefit, and then
Right.
they convert that to love and appreciation. If
Yep.
a certain amount or a certain percentage, sometimes it's 50%, sometimes it's all, whether it be time, energy, attention, if it's not all directed towards them, then that means there's no love and appreciation there. So for women, they have to really be careful and break down what is it that you want, and is this actually the love and appreciation, the material things.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up there. Again, if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, leave them in the comments or email us at email@winsworld@gmail.com. With that, we're gonna sign off and see you guys next week, inshallah, where we come back with looking at some more current events and seeing what we can learn from them. Again, till next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay. All right.
I mean,